Amid the devastated landscapes of Myanmar, families cling to hope, waiting for a miracle amid the rubble. The 7.7 magnitude earthquake that struck on Friday has left over 2,000 people dead and thousands more injured. But stories of survival are still emerging, bringing moments of light in the darkness. Rescuers are working against time, knowing that the critical 72-hour survival window has now closed. In Mandalay, 2 teenage girls and their grandmother spent 15 agonising hours trapped under debris before being pulled to safety. Nearby, a teacher in Saigang City mourns the loss of an entire school building where young voices once filled the air with laughter. We were trapped in total darkness, recalled 2 women rescued from a collapsed hotel. If we didn't have a phone light, we might have not survived. Let's listen in to what the relatives of these victims have had to say.
ต้องเข้มแข็งค่ะเราอ่อนแอไม่ได้เพราะว่าเราต้องอยู่รอลูกเราจะอ่อนแอหรือจะเจ็บป่วยไม่ได้
พี่กู้ภัยเขาก็ทำงานเต็มที่อะไรเต็มที่ผมก็เห็นอย่างที่เห็นกันในข่าวในอะไรก็จะเป็นยังไงก็มันก็ต้องเป็นอย่างนั้นก็ยอมรับว่ามันจะเป็น
Well, grief is still weighing heavily on Myanmar's spiritual community. More than 160 monks have lost their lives in Mandalay as their monastery collapsed while they gathered for exams. Mosques and temples, once places of refuge, now stand in ruins. Across the border in Bangkok, rescue dogs search for signs of life in the wreckage of an under-construction high-rise. As families wait for news, search teams allow them to spend time with the dogs, hoping the comfort of wagging tails ease their pain, if only for a moment. Here is what Alongkot Chakaway, Deputy Director of Thailand Rescue Dog Association, has said.
แล้ววันนี้สิ่งพิเศษที่เราจะต้องทำสิ่งหนึ่งซึ่งเราไม่เคยทำมาก่อนสำหรับที่เหตุการณ์คราวนี้คือการนำสุนัขเนี่ยไปพบญาติของผู้ประสบภัยสิ่งที่เราทำที่ตุรกีแต่ว่าวันนี้คือวันแรกที่เราจะเข้าไปทำเราเชื่อว่าสุนัขอาจจะทำให้คลายเศร้าได้บ้างในบางเวลาคลายกังวลได้
Amid the overwhelming devastation, aid is arriving. International teams from the United States, China and Russia have deployed, answering Myanmar's rare plea for assistance. But the road ahead is long, with infrastructure already weakened by years of conflict. Relief efforts face immense challenges. For now, as tremors subside, Myanmar holds on to hope. One rescue, one embrace and one moment at a time. Some of the trapped victims made videos documenting the states of fear they had to overcome, desperately calling out for help. Let's take a look at some of these desperate moments. Well, as we can see here, of course, the wreckage, the buildings that have been destroyed, people and hoping for those rescuers to come and save them. Desperate moments of not knowing whether they would survive, whether somebody would be there to help them and save them from this devastating natural disaster that has caused horrible death and destruction for thousands, we now know. Scenes of the rubble, scenes of young people. Earthquakes, of course, don't just impact one group of people, the young, the old, the elderly. Everyone is affected. Here we can see, of course, the building that has been destroyed, children sitting there, helpless but still hopeful of those rescue efforts that we know are, of course, ongoing. Support from nations across the world and top economic countries leading those rescue efforts. It's not, of course, just in Myanmar, but in Thailand as well, where rescue efforts are continuing. My colleague Brian Thomas, who is at Ground Zero in Bangkok, has spoken to the head of the K9 search team. Mayo is leading the search and rescue operations with the dog squad. Let's take a look at what he said.
Well, we are covering, newsx is on ground and we are covering everything that is happening in Bangkok. And today we are joined by a very special guest. We are joined by me, who is leading the search and rescue operations. Ma'am, if you can say about the search team, what are you doing, and the dogs that are here?
We are K9 team from Thai Volunteer Search and Rescue Dog. This mission we have 4 dogs, and we has been here since Friday.
What
Like
dog?
the first day that the buildings collapsed. And we have one German Shepherd, one Border Collie, one Thailand bag, and another one Labrador.
And what is that dog that is there?
This from Chinese from China. This dog is from China,
Okay.
and they have a base in Thailand, so they come here and join us in this mission.
And any hopes?
You know, like every time, everywhere has hope. So yes.
Situation better now?
You see, they start to move all like to find the victims, and we still use not we they still use the dog and radar scanning to find both life and body.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for talking to
You're
us.
welcome.
So, yes, viewers, you've heard the person who was heading the K9 search team. We've spoken exclusively for NewsX and got an understanding about the updates and about the rescue operations they have been doing.
Well, thank you to